If you tuned in for some heavy rain camping, I think you're getting exactly what you were looking for. Yes, bring it on. It's become torrential rain. It's absolutely... Oh no! Welcome back, everybody. I'm soaked. Absolutely soaked and freezing. You can't see Bruce, he's just out of shot, lying there. Doesn't care. Got the tarp set up. I don't know if this is how I'm going to keep it. We'll see. Got my tent, my UL 3F UL Gear Tarp tunnel tent set up. Got a pole here holding everything up, I hope. So what I'm going to do is unpack everything, get a change of clothes going, although I've got a horrible feeling I've forgotten a spare pair of trousers, so I might need a fire to dry them out, which is going to be difficult in these conditions. I haven't got any water. I've got to go to the tarn to get water, which is miles away. What I might do is just take it off of the tarp and boil it. So there's some, I can set it up to pool. Anyway, I'll catch you after I've set everything up and dried up a bit. Welcome back. Well, it's cold and I didn't bring a second set of trousers. I forgot them at home. Stupid. Usually I bring my fat pants tent trousers to chill out in the tent with. I can't believe I forgot them. Luckily I've got multiple layers for the top. I've also got a puffer jacket and a rain jacket on top of this thick hunting shirt and my Corinthia hoodie, which is really nice and warm. And little Brucey here, this is warm for him, really warm. Cold for me, it's about 11 degrees, I think 10 degrees centigrade. With a wind and being cold, just sucks the heat out of you. He doesn't feel it at all, and he's got a waterproof coat. So the plan, what's the plan? Well, I don't fancy traipsing over there to get water. Trying to dry my shirt. Nothing is going to dry. It's 100% humidity, and it just keeps pissing down with rain. I think it's just stopped for a minute. We're in the clouds. We'll see what happens. The wind is actually going to help maybe dry stuff. Hopefully I'll be able to hang my trousers out and dry them and just go and sit in the sleeping bag for a while. Warm up. Here comes the rain again. So I've got my Trangia 25 with me. Going to cook up some good stuff. I'm not sure what time it is, but I'm hungry. I've got some stir-fried beef with some veggies, and I've got some burgers. I think it's a burger night tonight, just because they're quick and easy. And then I'll give him his dinner as well. So yeah, that's it in a nutshell. I'm cold. All right, you, Brucey? Are you cold? No? You having fun? Do you want to go and have a swim? Do you want to go for a swim? Yeah? Do you want to go to the beach? Or do you want to go for a walk? You're already going for a walk, aren't you? Doesn't care. He's been out there messing around like crazy while I've been doing all this. Now he's just, as soon as I sat down, he's come and sat here. The spot I'm in, I usually tarp in winter, in the snow. You might have seen, if you've seen any of my videos before, you'll have seen that I tarped in winter in the snow. And I set that up exactly where the camera is now, where the tripod is, because it's just perfect alignment of the trees there. This tent won't fit in that spot. I needed a bit more room, and also the view is better this way. I can see the mountains if it was clear, but it's not. It seems to be getting darker. So I'm starting to shiver a bit. Definitely cold because of these pants. Well, I've been to get the water. It was cold, but I've put all my layers back on again. I'll warm up soon. Bruce wants his dinner, don't you, Bruce? So I'm going to give him his dinner now, and then I'm going to have a coffee, put a coffee on. So, good boy, go on then. Such a good boy. Yep, that's good. I know I look really fat with all these layers on. Got the little kettle to go with it. 325 kettle. Just makes it boil quicker. I want to have a couple of coffees, so I'm going to really fill that up. Alright, it's getting there. So the Drenched has a simmer ring, which is a vent that you open if you want, and then you can close it. Now the only problem with using this is I don't think you ever get full heat. I compared it. You just don't get full heat when you use this. So it's great for controlling if you want to simmer something, you don't need full heat. But what happens is you cover up the gasification holes on the burner itself, which means you never get that full flame when it gets up to heat. It's not at heat yet, but when it does, it starts jetting through those holes as well. So you don't get that if you use the simmer ring. So if you want to cook, if you want to boil water, and that's all you're doing, take the simmer ring off and let it just go for it. So I've got 2 of these full. Be interesting to see how long it lasts. I'm hoping it lasts long enough. Also got my whiskey. I'm not cooking, I'm not going to light that. Oh no, I've got brandy, and I've got my cigars. Got a whole bunch of food. As I said, I've got some stir-fried beef, got some hamburgers. I'm finally warming up now. Even though I probably shouldn't lean on my trousers because they're so wet. See, I'm soaking my down. That's really stupid. Yeah, stir-fried beef and some hamburgers. So I'm going to make hamburgers tonight. I did really want to do it over a fire though, because I don't want to use up all my fuel. But I might not have a choice. Everything's so wet. I didn't bring a saw with me or an axe. All I've got is my Tops to Homer knife, which is massive. I mean, you can do some serious damage with that with wood, but it's good on sticks. So I'd need to make just a stick fire, not a big chunky fire. Welcome back. Well, I solved the getting wet arms thing. Putting my my outer shell on my legs, and it's working. It's keeping them really warm. They probably won't dry out like that, but whatever. Yeah. So I'm just going to chill, have this coffee. Bruce is happy, he's got a full tummy. Brucey. He's a bit too wet, and it's a bit too wet for me to bring his bed out here to lie on. But he wouldn't lie on it anyway. Even if I put it down, he'd walk on it and then walk off and go and lie on the grass. In fact, he'd lie in the wettest, longest, messiest grass he could. Because he likes to hide. And he likes to hide in the rain. Does this at home as well. And you look at him and he's like, what are you doing? Aren't you cold? And he just doesn't. He is a pure outdoor dog. I mean, he lives outdoors. His kennel is outdoors. So he can handle any conditions. When we're in the snow, if you look at some of my other camping videos with him in the snow, he is out in the snow all the time, bouncing around, playing around. He comes into the tent so late, or the tarp, so late at night, I feel him come push up against me. And then he's off again in the morning. And he'll sit out there in the snow. So I don't know how he does it. I don't know how his paws don't get cold or whatever, but I guess he's got a very fast metabolism. So not much else going on here. I'm going to have this coffee warm up thoroughly and then have another coffee. And then I'm going to look at doing my hamburgers. So I'll see you then. Nice sizzle. It's cold. Suddenly the temperature's dropped. You can't see who's watching, but he's not even blinking. So I got some Texas steak rub. My burger baps are not sliced. Whatever, it's just beef. They could have sliced them for me. Bastards. Why wouldn't you slice them? They're burger buns. Yeah. Oh well. Whatever, beggars can't be choosers. They'll still work. Oh, that's a good smell. Oh, burger. It's going to heat me up. It's lifting my spirits already. I was feeling a little bit down and kind of stupid because I left my trousers, my spare trousers at home. It's really dumb. Oh, what happened there? How you doing, Brucey? You good? You warm? Come around. No, no, no. Go around. Come around here. Good boy. Here. Come on. Here. Here. Come and lie here. There you go. Let everybody see you. Oh, he's a wet dog. I'm going to have to dry him off before he comes in the tent. He's already tried to get in there a few times, because that's where all the food is, isn't it? See, I'm wetting my jacket by putting my arms on my wet trousers. And they started to dry out when I put my jacket on, my Gore-Tex, inside out like that. Well, not inside out, but how it should be worn. And it actually dries and breathes. So they started drying in that spot, which is great. So it must be working. Should have bought some tomato ketchup. Smell good. No blood coming out of them. Must be doing something right, because Noggins here is showing an interest suddenly when I did that. I'd say they were done. Yep. Just juice coming out. So I'll let them sit without flame for a while. Oops, missed. Yeah. Again, like I said last time, I don't bother bringing a knife and a fork. I make do with my spoon and my proper knife. So this Tops to Homer knife, Tops to Homer field knife, it is, I don't know if it looks big on the screen, but it is big. And I've got big hands. So very big. It's got some great tools on it. Bow drill slots, lots of lashing points, wire cutters. You can change your grip if you want to do boning out of an animal, or make fire sticks, feather sticks. In the US you can order it double sharp, double-sided, but I didn't do that here. I've got blunt this side, sharp that side. One of the reasons that I don't like having the sharp side is I'm not stabbing anything with it. And also when you're batoning, if this is sharp, you're just going to wreck your baton. So I went with a blunt edge, and I've not missed it. So I cut this pole with this, and I've chopped some sizable logs with this, because it is so heavy, full tang, incredibly heavy knife. When you are chopping, you do have to lash it like that, so you can really get the leverage and hold on to it, because it goes flying otherwise. Yeah, fantastic piece of kit. Tops to Homer field knife, made in the USA. What do you reckon, Bruce? I think my burger's ready. Now, there's a bit of this I can give to him. I'm not going soft on it. There's a little edge that doesn't have any seasoning on. He's had his dinner. He's had a biscuit as well. Do you want some burger, Bruce? Do you want some? Yeah. Hang on. Let me cut some off for you. He appreciates it. Oh, look at that, Brucey. You gonna have some? I will put it in a little burger bun for you. Wait. Oh, he's being such a good boy. Hang on. Make sure it's not hot. It's not hot. Okay. Come here. Up. Okay. Wait. Oh, I smell him. Bruce. No. Okay. Have you earned it? Okay. Go on there. Gentle. That was so gentle. But that was it. No more. Spoiled. Bruce! Oi! Get out! Out from under there. Honestly. He's looking for all sorts of scraps and stuff. Bruce, go away! Honestly. You are a nightmare sometimes. But I'd still rather be here with him than without him. I don't know if you can see him down here. He always looks for more. He's going to stab himself on the knife. Are you done? You finished? You're going to hurt yourself, Bruce. Oh shit, look what you're making me do. Bruce, go away. That's enough now. Right. Burger. Oh yeah. Nice. Mrs. Rogers barbecue rubs, steakhouse barbecue, Texas style. Now, I've got an onion here. I was going to put some onion with it. I just can't be bothered. I've just got to eat. Well, it's so miserable and cold and stupid for not. Anyway, yeah, I was miserable for feeling stupid for leaving my trousers behind, and I got cold. And it was a rookie mistake, a really stupid mistake. I've never done that. Up here, that was a dumb mistake. Alpine camping can be so dangerous. And so many people have died. But so many people have died on this actual mountain. I think it was a year ago or 2 years ago. A year ago. I was up here with my son. And we had 3 foot in drifts, 2 foot of snow. Overnight. And we slogged out, but I knew it was coming. We were prepared, no problem. A mother died with her son, her son was 16 or something. Son was fine, but he made it to that, but she didn't. She died. And 2 brothers or friends had to be heli lifted off. People die up here. And it's the gear that saves you. I just can't believe all I've got are these Fuel Raven pants. They're not waterproof. They're not even really what I would say water resistant. Because after 5 minutes of walking through wet bush, they will be wet. But it's the first time that I've used them in these conditions, so I didn't know what to expect. Usually I'd wear Stony Creek. I've got my Alpine pants. They are 100% waterproof, windproof, Oxford cotton, built like brick shit house. Indestructible. Well, lesson learnt. Next time, what I'll do is I'll wear those on the way up and swap into these. But of course, first of all, you've got to remember to blooming bring them. Oh well, you learn from your mistakes. It's raining. Bruce is I don't even think he's under the cover. He just doesn't care. And I can see it beading off him, and he's bone dry underneath his top fur. He's giving off a lot of warmth. I'm just looking at him to make sure he's not shivering. But no, nothing. I think another whiskey is in order. So he's moved over here now because He thinks I'm not going to notice if he goes into where the burgers were. I don't know if you can see him, but he's begging. Not begging, but he's searching. Hands are getting cold. Probably because my core has cooled down. When you have the hood up, it makes such a massive difference. It traps all that air into your body and puffer jacket. But this is actually working a treat. My legs are warm and they're drying. Reverse it. I'm trying to dry this shirt. That's maybe not going to happen. Okay, so I'm going to finish my burgers and bring you back for a cigar. Feel human again, Bruce. Yep. I got a little bit wet moving the camera on my down. Maybe should have taken the down jacket off first, shouldn't I? Stupid again. Okay, brandy time. Brandy, yeah, I said it right first time. You can't see him, but he is literally just on out of shot. He thought I was getting something out to eat. He came back. Now he knows I'm not. He's going to go away and play. Oh no, he's lying down in the grass. Cheers. And I'll actually then see you back in the tent. It's a wet, cold, grim afternoon, or evening now. It's starting to get dark. And my legs are still cold, my feet are cold. I'm looking forward to getting in my quilt. So, catch you in the tent. Welcome back to the tent. He's happy. He's in his sleeping bag. He doesn't need it, but it will keep him so warm and it will suck. He's wet, but it will suck all of the moisture off him and it will vent out, hopefully. Dry the bag out tomorrow. I've got both vents open and I've got this mesh here and I've got the door open as well. I'm not bothering to close the outside door because, well, I've got the tarp up and that will protect us. The wind is blowing. I know, Bruce, it's blowing. That's why it's swaying a bit. If you have a border collie, do they lick? Because he licks a lot. He's trying to see out. He just wants to see out. So let me just open this bit so he can see out because he hates not being able to see. It really annoys him. Now he can see. And so now he might not focus on me so much. Very, very protective. Just had a bit of a growl, a bit of a bark at something. Wasn't anything. One thing I've noticed about this tunnel tent is, so I'm just 6 foot. I just fit, but I am pushing the edge of the liner, the inner, I am touching the outside of the shell. Now, luckily, it's a 4-season inner, so no moisture can get in. But still, it's quite annoying. Not as annoying as he's being right now, but honestly, he's being pampered. He doesn't need this at all, but I'm just pampering him, because why not? He hasn't got his mum with him, and it will keep him lovely and toasty. But also it will help him dry off, and it stops everything else in the tent getting soaking wet, because he's a nightmare in the tent when he's wet. Everything gets wet. So this will hopefully keep it all dry. It will soak up all the moisture off him. And will be good. Better than usual. Hopefully he just doesn't get it. Honestly, it is... just can't stop licking. He's a nightmare. But I know that a lot of you guys love him. He's got some seeds stuck on his nose. He's a complete mess under here. He's covered in grasses and all sorts. I got him to shake. I haven't got a towel with me that I can towel him off with. Oh my god. So he's just wet. There's nothing I can do about it. I did get him to shake, but yeah, nothing I can do about it. It is what it is. He'll be fine in his sleeping bag. I will shuffle him along a bit later. Once the door closes, once I close this door, the zip, and the thing comes up to here, he won't be able to see out. He'll settle. He'll just go to sleep. And then he'll sleep all through the night until I wake up, basically. Until I get up. He won't do anything, because he knows there's no point. I think we've had 10 minutes of no rain. And it's just started to get a bit heavier. I don't know if this picks it up. There's the tarp, then the tent, so you don't hear it as much. It's actually quite nice having the tarp over. But I do hear the big globs of water flowing out to the back. All right, I think unless something else happens, I'm going to chill out. I feel so good now. I feel warmed up. I'm in my... Actually, I thought I bought the Revelation, but I hadn't. I bought the... I've got two. So this is the actual... This is the Enlightened Equipment Conundrum. 20 degree bag. I've got a Revelation 10 degree bag. 10 degree Fahrenheit. This is 20 degree Fahrenheit, which is -6, I think. Conundrum. So this is a quilt that completely converts into a sleeping bag. Zips all the way up. The way they do that is it's just got more material. But that's just, if it's windy or lots of draft, then you'd probably zip it up. But I like it like this as a great, it's so early, I'm yawning. As a quilt, because I can spread out. And in here, once I close this zip, this inner door, it will warm up in here really quickly. It's grim out there. I'm so stupid. You see my Fuel Raven trousers in the background. There's no way I'm going to be able to get them to dry. They're just going to be a sopping, horrible, cold, disgusting thing to wear tomorrow. There's a chance I'm not going to bother wearing them tomorrow. I've got sport shorts on underneath, so I might just have to suck it up and not wear them, because I don't fancy putting on freezing cold Fuel Raven trousers tomorrow. All right, so unless anything else happens, I'm going to watch a movie with him, with my buddy. And he's going to cuddle up with me tonight. I know he is, because he always does. No matter how far I push him away, I feel him in the middle, like he'll sidle up, and he is wedged against me. I don't know if it's a protection thing or what. I mean, he's on full alert now, looking out, because I've disturbed him. Scratch his bottom. He doesn't like that. It's a bit sensitive there. But he does like his tummy tickled. He's a good boy. And it is fantastic to be out with him, honestly. I was out a week ago. Look at my last video, camping in heavy rain. Again, chucking with rain, same tent, same tarp. But I couldn't bring him with me that time. And it was a good job really, because there were wasps and everything all over the place. There wasn't as much rain then. This is a lot more rain. But we're on the mountain. We're very high. But this is his favourite spot. He loves this spot. No. You're in. That's it. Tough. You see, so he's made everything wet already. Hang on, Bruce. Just give me a second. Pull this up here. Right. Your paws. That's the reason I'm going to have to close this mesh door, because he's going to go for it. The second I'm not paying attention, he'll try and get out of here. And he is zipped in, but he'll still get out, because there's loads of room in this bag. Where did I get? I got this off AliExpress, I think. Bloody brilliant bag, it really is. Stay. It's okay. Stay there. Is it wet coming through? Not yet. It will. I know. Oh, it's hard being you, isn't it? Hey. Oh, you're yawning. See, you're tired. There you go. So I'm being a good dad. You can even toggle it up and secure him in. He's not going to like this. Watch. Bruce, stop it. You know why he's not going to like that? Because it means he can't get out. And he'll hate that. He'll hate the fact that he can't get out. There's so much room for him. I think I got too big a bag. You don't want a small bag, but you don't want it too big. Yeah, I've done it up a bit just to sort of stop him feeling like he can just walk out of it whenever he wants. No, Bruce! Oh my God, stay down. Down. No. Back into bed. Honestly, you're so naughty. Right, I've got to zip up the mess. You watch the difference. I'll tell you what. I'll keep the camera on. Watch the difference of what happens when I zip the mesh up. There goes all his fun. That's it. It's bedtime. Down. Lie down. That's it. We're going to bed. No. Lie down. Yes, you can lick me all you want, but it's bedtime, Bruce. Stop. Enough. Lie down, Bruce. Settle. He's a bit confused because he's never been in the bag. He's only ever lay on top of it. And he wants to look out. But I'm not letting him. So he's a bit pissed off about that. Settle. You can't really see him. He's not happy. Look, his head's up. He knows I'm laughing at him. There, he's settled. See? Amazing difference. Now he knows he can't look out and go out. That's it. He'll settle. He'll just pass out. Might even be too hot in there. I don't know. But the heat will get all that moisture off him, I hope. And it will go out the vents of the tent. Same can't be said about my trousers. But I'm not bringing them into my sleeping bed, my quilt, because flipping heck, I don't fancy sleeping with those. Okay, I'm going to leave you guys, unless something major happens, like a huge downpour, which I can record. I'm going to kick back and watch a movie. Thanks for joining me on day 1 of 3 days. Morning. Oh my God. He's being desperate for me to wake up. I just have to go through this routine with him first. He's bone dry now. I had to unzip him from his sleeping bag. He was obviously too hot and he just didn't want to be in it. So he just lay on top of it. I looked at him a couple of times to see if he was cold. Of course he wasn't. He's so dry now. Unbelievable. I slept pretty well. I turned the quilt into full sleeping bag mode. Something about the quilt, I just can't relax as well. I can't relax with it in sleeping bag mode. In quilt mode. I don't know why, I always think there's a draft somewhere. There probably is.
So psychologically it's not as good. In sleeping bag mode I was very comfy. Rained all night. He is like this every morning. Oh my god, he's Energizer Bunny. It's like he's eaten some coffee bags, coffee beans. He's always so happy to see you. Oh my god. Yes, I know. It's amazing. It's another day. I know. Incredible. Can you calm down for a sec? Okay, you can go out in 1 minute. Wait, 1 minute. You can go out. Okay, I've got to let him out. Hang on. Okay, I'll let you out now. Wait. Which means I actually have to get up to do it. Wait. You can't actually do this bit. I have to do it. I'll show you. Yeah. Sorry for the arse shot. Oh, the outer wall is dry. Wait. He's desperate. He might need to really go and pee. He's off. Oh, it's cold when you open that door. Oh, it's cold. It was the first day of autumn yesterday here in New Zealand. So on the mountains, it's always colder anyway. But that's cold. It's nice to be in the sleeping bag. Let me move this. Sorry, we've got a proper camera in here. So yeah, rained all night. I was toasty. The only problem is my sleeping bag is now wet at the end, and the reason for that is I'm touching the end of the tent, which kind of sucks. And now my sleeping bag's wet. It is treated though, so that's not a problem. I can dry it quite quickly, but it is wet at the end, soaking wet. Yeah. Yeah, because I'm just too long for the tent. I have to lie on a diagonal, I think. It's the only way to do it. I guess that's the flaw in this tent design, is the angle at the end is so shallow that you're bound to touch the end of the tent. So the 3FUL tunnel tent, that's fine if you're sort of, I guess, well, I'd say it's, if there's two of you, you're both going to have to be under sort of, like, you're going to have to be about 5'10", something like that, maybe less, 5'9", 5'8". It's just not designed for 6-footers, and there's no way. I was pushed right up against the wall as well. But the end of the tent is wet. Let me show you what I'm talking about. If you can make that out. See, it's touching the outside now. It's stuck to it. So my sleeping bag, end of my sleeping bag is wet. When I'm fully stretched out, that's what it does. Which is a pretty stupid design, if you ask me. I guess it's designed for short people. Alright, I'm going to get out. I'm going to go and hang my sleeping bag out because I can hear it's windy. Get it dried off. Come back to you with a cup of coffee. I still haven't refilled my fuel. It's still got quite a bit in it. It must be cold. It's a bugger to light when it's like this. There you go. Of course, it helps that there's no wind. Don't know if you can see. Got my my shorts on. My pants are soaking wet. I don't feel like putting them on. I'll try and dry them out today, but what I really need is some wind. It's just wet. There was some big gusts last night, but we will see. don't know if you can see him, he's running around playing. He's had his breakfast, he's happy. It's a bit milder than it was last night, which is a relief, because it means I can sit here with the shorts. Everything held up perfectly. There was some huge gusts of wind, but everything held up perfectly. The only thing I'm disappointed about is the tent, the length of the tent. That's majorly disappointing. I think there is a way I can hoist it out a bit and up a bit, so might be able to buy myself another inch. I don't know. I'll have to work something out. But that is disappointing when it's bone dry. You might not notice, but it was soaking wet. Yeah, end of my sleeping bag was wet, which you can't have, especially with the down sleeping bag. Alright, gonna get my coffee on the brew going, and come back to you then. It's coming down again. I don't think I'm gonna get a break today. Wind and the rain. I could do with the wind, just to dry stuff off. But this rain is just constant, and we're in the fog. Got my coffee though, happy. Let's turn this into Bruce Cam. I've done my oats. I also managed to fill my water. It took less than 2 minutes when it was chucking just from the tarp. Perfect. Because it's about 10 minutes to the tarn and then another 10 minutes back, and it's quite a slog, and I'd get wet again. As you can hear. Can you see Bruce in the distance? I don't know. He does stand out because he's black and white. So honey oats. I still haven't refilled this, but I'd say now it's done. So that bit of fuel, that when this is full, this Trangia burner, spirit burner, when it's full, it obviously does enough for, how much did I have? Well, I've got the kettle. The kettle makes a big difference, okay? So if you're boiling water, get the kettle. But I've had maybe 5 hot cups of drink, another cup for the oats, and I cooked the burgers last night, all from one container. And there was a little bit in there already, and I used 3 ounces from here. So what is that? I used just over 100 mil. Oh, a bit less than 100 mil. I've still got loads left, and I've got another one of these. So I think the kettle is what's made the huge difference. Before I didn't have the kettle, and it just burnt through the fuel so quickly because boiling water took ages. So this little thing, superb. And this is the small one for the Trangia 25. That holds probably
2 full cups of drink. It's very efficient. Do like that. There was a plus side as well. Put it under my legs, and the warm air from the whole cooker just warmed me up completely, because the flame doesn't come out the side and there's no noise. It's silent, so it's so nice. Whereas with the jet boil or my MSR white gas burner, it's so noisy you can't hear a thing. With this, you can actually cook in peace and quiet and listen to the rain. It's quite nostalgic, and I think that's why people use Trangia. It's back to basics. It's nice. It's peaceful. If you're stealth camping and you want to stay quiet, this is definitely the way to go. No smoke, no noise. So yeah, the Trangia system definitely. I used the Spirit Burner by itself with the stand before in winter, and I just burnt through the fuel. It was crap. Took ages to boil water, and 1 cup of water, it just went on forever and ever. I don't even remember if I got a boil. But in this system, in the Trangia system, where it draws the air up underneath, and with the kettle, it is brilliant, I have to say. It won't boil your water as quick as gas, but it's just such a nicer way to do it, and you've still got plenty of fuel left over. If I had my wet weather gear, if I had my wet weather trousers, let's not go through all that again, I would go hunting for firewood. Now, the thing in New Zealand is, especially this forest, this is a beech forest. Everything here is beech. There are no other species. And it just doesn't die. There's no acid rain up here. It's so pure. The air is so pure. You can see the, it looks like, it's called Old Man's Beard, hanging off the trees. That only grows in the purest of air. And it's everywhere. And because nothing dies, rarely dies, sorry about that message, there's never any firewood, never enough anyway, not up at this altitude. Further down, yes, the trees are bigger and some have been blown over, or just, other things have caused them to die, lightning strikes, stuff like that. But up here, it's so difficult to find anything that's standing and dry. So very rare to be able to have a fire up here. I think I've managed it twice out of I don't know how many times, and you've got to hunt for ages. And what would happen is I'll just get soaking wet looking, trying to find it. And I've dried out now. My pants haven't dried out, my trousers, as you can see behind me. But I don't want to put them on and go traipsing around. So I'm hoping maybe there'll be a break in the weather today and we might get some sunshine. If we do, I'm going to quickly hang everything out on my connecting ridge lines here, a bit of a laundry, and then see what I can muster. And if it is that nice, then I'll even make a table. All right, I'm going to eat this, enjoy my breakfast, enjoy my coffee, and we'll return when there's something to return to. Oh my god, look at the state of you. Where have you been? Did you go and look for some water? That's your mum trying to text me. What have you been doing? What have you been chasing? Oh, don't come too close to me, you're soaking. No, back Bruce, stay. Go back. Don't you dare. He's going to shake and he'll do it all over me. You're soaking. His undercoat actually is bone dry. Just his top coat is wet. Beads everything off. And that's his stick. Yes, I said the stick word. It's amazing how dry he was this morning in the sleeping bag, in the tent. Of course, the sleeping bag took the brunt of it. I've got it hanging up on the tripod. But it's a very quick dry synthetic dog bag, believe it or not. And in the end he just lay it on top of it and all the moisture sunk through to the bottom, and then I used my little towel to mop that all up, and that's now out hanging. So that worked well. Yeah, I saw he was completely spread out. I think he had a better sleep than I did. So entertaining to watch. We could just sit here. You don't need a movie, just watch him. It sticks. Is that it? You done with that stick? You got a stick? Definitely his happy place. And mine, but more so his, because he prefers this weather. Watch one of my videos in the snow, camping in the snow, in heavy snow. He's just so funny to watch him in deep snow. Loves it. And in case you're curious how old he is, I think he's now 9 years old. Trigger him. Bruce, what's that? Go get it. Go on, go get it. He hates goats. So you make a goat sound, he's triggered. But he knows it's playing. Was that fun? Go on, go find it. Go find the goat. Where is it? Go, 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 go. Alright. Sit. Good boy. Go on then, have your stick. You can have your stick now. There's nothing. I know. You know you're on camera, don't you? Such a show off. Alright, that's enough of that. I'll come back to you later. So, it's, I don't know, 11 o'clock. It's stopped raining for about 10 minutes now. So I went out, I found a dead pole tree that I have cut up. It's just enough for one small fire. And it is dry. I'm just leaving it to sit, just to get any residual moisture off the outside. I've got 2 small sticks of fat wood with me, which will be my fire lighter, and fat wood burns incredibly hot, so that'll be under the base. I'm going to make some feather sticks from it, get my fire going. It's going to be a very small fire. Ideally I just want some coals just to help dry stuff out. The lull in the rain has helped. There's a little bit of heat coming from the cloud, but we'll see how it goes. Hopefully I'll have a good fire and can warm up, dry my boots out. My trousers are hanging under the tripod now. Hopefully they're going to dry a bit. There's not a lot of breeze, but we'll see where we go. That's all I needed, was to dry all this out a bit. I can see the steam coming off the pants. I mean, it's not that hot, but it's building in here. Great news. All right, I'm gonna let all this dry off, and hopefully when you come back to me, I'll be wearing my trousers again. Yes, bring it on. Bone dry. This is what it's all about. Camping in the heavy rain with a tent and a tarp. Unbelievable.
cooking your dinner, Bruce? So he doesn't like the noise of the tarp with the heavy rain on it, which is why he chooses to lie out in the rain. He's a control freak. Doesn't like all the water pouring off into the corners off the tarp. Well, if you tuned in for some heavy rain camping, I think you're getting exactly what you were looking for. It is chucking down. Even Bruce, I don't know if you can see him down here. Hey, Brucey. Bruce. Hey, buddy. What are you doing? Even he's lying under the tarp, which is unheard of. Usually he'd be lying out there in the pouring rain as well. So we're all ready. This is his. It's cooled down enough for him. This is mine. So it's just lamb heart, onion and potato. Bruce, you gonna eat this? Come on then. Wait, sit. He's being naughty. Sit. Good boy. Ready? Go on then. He's gonna wolf that down. Okay, so bon appetit. Oh, that's good. That's so good. That's what I needed. I think it's time for last cigar before bed. Bruce is lying out in the rain again, so I don't know how I'm going to dry him off.
scar. And this is the last of my brandy as well. Temperature's dropped. It's cold. It's windy. Don't know if you're picking up on that. We're just below it, but everything above is just howling. It's pretty grim, but it's nice to be dry under here. Cheers. It is coming down. It really is coming down. He's out there playing in this. He's absolutely mental. I can't believe how much he loves the rain. It's amazing. It's absolutely... Oh no! You little shit. It's become torrential rain. Last 10 minutes. And the wind is ripping through the top of the camp. Thank God I've got the top. I don't know if you can hear me. I hope you can hear me. This is very loud. It is coming down. Waves of water coming off the tarp now. Can you see this coming off the corner here? That's nothing compared to what's coming off the back. I'm in a swamp. Where I'm sitting now on this mound, I'm surrounded by a moat. Bring it on. Yes! It's coming down. Thought it was going to be another video camping in heavy rain, which was my last one. No, this is camping in torrential rain. And believe it or not, Bruce is still out there playing in the rain. What can I say? He is the perfect outdoor dog, camping dog. He loves this. He loves this. He loves snowstorms. You couldn't pick a better dog than Bruce for an adventure in a snowstorm or a rainstorm. I can't even see where he is anymore. Let's see what state he's in. Let me call him. Bruce, come here. Come on. I saw a movement way up on here he is. Come here. Come and say hello. Hey, come here. Bruce, come here. I know you're so excited. What's around here? He's so happy. Hey, Bruce, where are you going? What are you doing? And that's him off into the bush again. And he's so happy. Unbelievable. Just going to leave you with the sounds of torrential rain. Oh my God. So much rain. Bruce! Bruce! Come here! What's this? Here! What you doing? Here! Bruce! Come here! To me! To me! Bruce! Up, up! Here! Come on! I know, you're really excited. Oh my God, look at the state of you. He's absolutely drenched. He's absolutely drenched. But he's having a great time. Go on then, Bruce, go and play. Oh my God. This is what it's all about. Ready? That was just waves of water are coming off the top. Temperature is 7 degrees centigrade. It's not freezing, but it's cold. And the wind chill definitely bringing the temperature down. But the brandy has heated me up. All right, folks. This time, definitely cutting it off. I'm gonna finish what's left of my cigar I'm going to get in my sleeping bag and watch a movie. And I'll come back to you from in there. Definitely this time. Because it can't get any more torrential than this. See you in a bit.
Welcome back. I'm in my sleeping bag. Bruce is absolutely soaking. He can't come in the tent. So, luckily, this tent is a huge vestibule. Huge. Same size as the actual tent. Inner. So, he's going to spend the night in the vestibule. He's fine. He's got his mat. He's preening himself now, you can see, through the mesh. Aren't you, Bruce? Brucey. Oh, he's sulking. Sulks when I start talking to the camera. Yeah, he'll be fine out there. The door's all closed. It's all sealed. There's no wind coming through. So he'll be warm, and I'll check on him through the night. But he's absolutely fine. He is absolutely drenched. So I didn't want him in here because then everything in here would be soaking wet as well. But he's on his bed out there. There's a mound like that outside the vestibule, so it's actually raised. So it's bone dry there. So he's absolutely, I'm saying absolutely a lot, but he's fine. Well, it's been a fun day, a great evening. Torrential rain. I mean, I've camped in heavy rain a lot. That was torrential. It came down. We're surrounded by a moat. In fact, under the tent, I think there's quite a big puddle. But I'm using double layer anyway. I've got a footprint and the layer of the tent. I'm lying diagonally, so hopefully I don't touch the end of the walls this time with the sleeping bag. But that's a problem that this is so short. I'm going to have to only use this in decent weather. The best tent I've got out of every tent I've ever tried is the MSR Hubba Hubba NX 2-person tent. I've never touched the end of that tent. That's long inside, and it's vertical walls inside at the ends. So there's no chance of you doing what this is doing, because this is very slanted like that instead of like that. It's just a design fault. I doubt very much that the equivalent sort of tunnel tent, I don't know what, the Hildberg Namage. I'm sure that doesn't have the same problem. Maybe it does. But I'm touching the end now. I can tell this is just touching, but I've really straightened the outside. All right, great day. Good food. A lot of rain, which is what I know everybody wants and what I wanted. It's still coming down out there. But what you can probably hear mainly are the drips from the trees. I'm going to watch a movie. I don't know how long for. I'm pretty tired. And I'll catch you in the morning for coffee and an early departure. Welcome back. It's morning. Oh. It's a cold one this morning. Oh, it's colder than yesterday. I think I slept much better sideways, especially without Bruce in the tent with me. He doesn't like lying on a bed. He likes lying on the ground. He's so weird. I don't think you can see him out there now. He's tucked up by the door, lying on the soft ground. He's just mad. He's ready to go outside. From what I could hear, it's rained on and off all night. And it's just started to rain again now, lightly. So I need to get a coffee on. I'm not going to bother cooking a breakfast, I don't think. I've got some OSM bars that I'll eat with my coffee. And it should be about 2.5 hours walk, hike out. Might take a little bit longer depending on the conditions. There's a little stream I've got to cross, which is always a nightmare. And given the amount of rain we've had, that's going to be pretty high. So, I don't know how that's going to go. Alright, so I'm going to go and get up. I'll pack first. Everything that's inside the tent, which isn't much, but... And then get my coffee on. Come back to you later. Oh, I just want to say good morning to Bruce. Bruce, you going to say good morning? Brucey? Is it time for your breakfast? I think he's sulking. Is it time to go out? Bruce? Do you want your breakfast? Did you have a good sleep? Wait. You can't get to me through the mesh. Oh, he's still a bit wet. I don't know why he won't sleep. Oh, God. Oh, he's got a wet tail. It's flicking on me. I don't know why he won't sleep on his bed. All right, I'm going to sort him out, sort the tent out, and we'll come back to you later.
Right, I'm packed up inside. It's a chilly morning. Whew. It's stopped raining. Briefly, I know there's downpours coming though on my way out. Everything is just so wet. So I've got to definitely get a coffee on, make a hot isotonic drink because it's a long way out and I don't want to stop to drink water or anything. So yeah, make all that and then get out of here, get down to the car. So I'll come back to you with a quick cup of coffee. Got my coffee, didn't take long. It's just started raining again. I thought the trip in was going to be miserable, but this is going to be miserable going out. Bruce is up on the ridge, looking out over the tussocks. He's looking for deer. Or pigs or something, I don't know. It's been a great trip. Even if it has absolutely chucked down, I haven't managed to do any exploring, and I did forget my spare trousers. They did dry out over that fire, and then the wind did eventually dry them out, and then they were just a bit cold and damp, and I put them on and they dried out pretty quickly. So the Fuel Raven trousers are good. The only thing is I think that putting a mixture of cotton in there was a mistake. I know why they've done it. It's so that you can wax it. But once they get wet, they're sodden and they hold a lot of water. So I think I'm only going to use these when the conditions are pretty good or as camp trousers. Otherwise I'll use my Stony Creek Tundra gear, which is 100% waterproof, extremely rugged, heavy, but very, very good. Stony Creek Tundra, look it up. And I have the jacket as well as the trousers for that. Have I learnt much? Yeah, I've learnt that this tent has a couple of design faults. Firstly, it's not long enough end to end vertically to lie down and sleep. It just isn't. Also, the bathtub floor, I've just noticed this morning, is wet with condensation all the way around. That can only mean that there's not enough ventilation getting in there. That must be the problem. Let me just see what that is over there. Oh. Yeah, that must be the problem. So it was pretty wet around the bathtub floor, which was again really surprising. Just at the edges. Just the edges where condensation had built up. It's not a 4-season tent. I wouldn't trust this thing in Four Seasons. I wouldn't trust it on a mountaintop storm. I've tested it a couple of times now, and for your average camper, where you got a couple of you, and it's fair conditions, good conditions, and you need good storage space in the vestibule, then this is perfect for you. But if you're like me, and you go to places where it gets extreme, and by extreme I mean, you know, I camp in all sorts of conditions that most tents just couldn't handle, then I wouldn't trust this at all. I don't know what would happen. I don't know if the seams would hold. So yeah, be careful of the Chinese made. In this one it's 3F UL Gear. Just be careful of that stuff. Even the tarp. The tarp is great, but there's some stupid flaws with it. Again, it doesn't have a center tie out attached. It's got one at the front, one at the back, but nothing in the middle. Why would you do that? I could add one myself, but why should I? Why should I have to do that? DD hammocks do it properly. Heavier, but more robust, proper gear. So again, you go with this cheaper stuff from China, and be prepared for it to fail when the conditions don't suit. What else have I learned? This Corinthia hoodie is good. Yep. It's not overly warm, but you layer, and for layers it's perfect. I mean, I have my MacPack Uber hooded down jacket, which is very, very thin. It's Uber light, very, very thin. But oh man, when that's zipped up, it's toasty. Sleeping bag wise, the Conundrum, the Enlightened Equipment Conundrum sleeping bag that I've got is really warm. I mean, as long as you've got it cinched up, because there's no baffle obviously, because it doesn't have a hood. So as long as you've got it cinched up, it's toasty. I like it. And just the fact that you can use it as a quilt if you want to is perfect. But the fact that it's a great sleeping bag. It's roomy. Because there's no hood, you can turn around in it and it doesn't really make any difference. You know, you don't get that. If I'm a side sleeper, front sleeper, tossing around a lot, you don't get any problems with it. The sleeping pad is warm. It's the Thermarest X-Lite. Thermarest NeoAir X-Lite. I wish I'd got max size instead of the space saver sizes. I feel the same way about my X-Therm as well. It just gives you that extra bit of assurance, security, warmth, knowledge that you're not hanging off of the thing, and you just got a bit more room to move around. I wish I'd got that. The only downside with that is I'm not so sure that the Max could handle the quilt straps. I don't know if they'd wrap around it. Hello, Bruce. Bruce is behind the camera. He's been playing all morning. He's been desperate to get out. I think there's nothing else really to mention. The tops to Homer knife came into its own yet again. Heavy knife is good to have when you have to chop wood. If you haven't brought an axe or a saw with you and you've got to have one piece of equipment, then go with that. All right, look, on that note, I'm going to pack up. Thanks for coming along on this journey. It's been great having you along for the cigars and the brandies and the coffees and the rain. Thanks for coming. Bruce has enjoyed having you here. I've enjoyed having you here. And to our next adventure. Hope it's soon. And as always, if you could please just give a thumbs up at the end and maybe subscribe. That would encourage me to do more of these and put myself through more of this misery for your entertainment. Thanks for watching. In case you're wondering what my tarp setup looked like, by the way, very simple. This is a 4x3 meter tarp. Got it secured off to the trees. Lengthways over the top to give me a seating area out the front. Secured with a ridge line. And then some prusik knots connected to some mini carabiners. It's very,
taut. And then I use elastic bungees to secure it down. I only needed 2 and then 1 connection at the back. And that did the job. Nice and tight. Water flowed down here perfectly down the hill. The reason I do the ridgeline like this and hook it onto it is it just gives me more flexibility to fold the tarp back if I have to. It also stops water from coming in under the tarp along the ridgeline. It doesn't give you maybe as much headroom, but it's a good connection, and then you can fine tune it as well with the end connections.